It's Mark Mulgrew with another great show. With lots of chat and music to go. Put your feet up and just relax. We're Black Diamond Radio.
How cheesy is that?
That was beautiful. I was singing harmony there and everything.
That's great, eh?
It's tremendous.
That's great. Thanks very much to Bob Heatley and Lorna Reid for putting that together for me. Still sitting here with Saul Christie, as I said, singer extraordinaire, Mr. Human Jukebox.
Yeah.
And we've decided in this segment that we're going to talk about your appearances on television.
Yeah, it was good. Last year now was an exciting year. I think it was around about September time to begin with. I was put in touch with Music Express TV, who they go out on one of the Sky channels, I think Sky Showcase that they're broadcast on, and they basically, could spend a long time talking about them, but to sum them up, Mark, they're a fantastic platform. John Paul Productions down there in Blackpool, where they're based for either established country artists or an easy listening artist or up and coming talents, hopefully like myself. Brilliant platform that everybody needs. So I was down, we did a show with them in September. It went well, and I was very lucky to be invited back to take part in the Christmas special, which obviously went out in December. That was a really good show. Thoroughly enjoyed that, and I've just finished the production side of the album that we're playing the tracks off today. They were behind the filming for that as well.
So it's all going to come together in like a sort of DVD form.
That's what's going to happen, and hopefully sooner rather than later. We're close. All the filming and all the audio's done. It's just a case of it's been edited just now. I'm waiting to sign off the final copy, and hopefully I'll have it available to sell soon.
Now, how comfortable are you in listening and watching yourself, especially on DVD? How does that? I'm
not comfortable with it, Mark. I'm no different to. I think we're talking about the perceptions that people have of us as performers, and I think. I think another one is that we're all vain people that love to watch ourselves and love to listen to ourselves, and
it's not the case.
It's not the case, not with all of us anyway. But I'm much the same as anybody else in that I don't particularly like listening to my own voice, but I've learned to do it because I think it's necessary for constructive criticism of yourself. If you're listening back to recordings or looking at film footage, I think you have to do that to look at ways you can improve it and stuff like that, and that's been an eye-opener.
One thing that people, I hope the listeners are thinking, because it's something that comes across to me, when we listen to your singing voice and then listen to you talking, it's a completely different sound that comes out. Yeah,
well, I'm glad, because if I sang in my talking voice, I would make no money whatsoever. It would be a struggle. I think again it's a nice thing to be able to do, to kind of have that element of surprise. And it's quite similar to you've seen as well, the amount of acts you've seen when you see a particular an act that's kind of small in physical stature get on stage and he or she opens his mouth and this big massive voice comes out. It's that kind of thing as well. It definitely adds something. I mean, my talking voice is the only one I've got, so I'm kind of stuck with it. I can I've had various different vocal coaches and stuff like that to kind of polish off the singing voice a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they don't sound the same. Thank you for pointing that out.
It's something that's really, really quite clear. And the singing voice, especially that country sound that you've got.
Country twang.
Country twang. And that's obviously something, when you're brought up listening to that particular music. But you're also a big Motown fan.
I love Motown. Absolutely love them. Like that kind of particular genre of music. I just think it's timeless. It's these are songs that have been around for many, many years, and will be around for many more. Especially given that there's good Motown tribute acts now going out and still peddling these songs, and sometimes these acts get a bad name, and I think they're tremendous. I think they should always be praised for continually putting these songs back in the spotlight, because it's a cliche, Mark, but they don't write them like that anymore.
Well, it's true. I mean, and I've said so many times that songs like the Beatles songs, and then you've got the Motown and Drifters and all that sort of stuff. It's amazing the amount of youngsters. And I say youngsters as somebody in early 40s, but people who are a lot younger than me or yourself, who sing along to these songs and know all the words.
Yeah, they know them all. They've got the dance moves and everything else. And I was in Dundee just last week watching a Motown tribute as well, and the same thing. You look about and there's a proper mixed bag in the in the audience that have paid good money to come and watch people kind of recycle these songs, and rightly so, because it's brilliant music.
Now, we're going to play another one of your tracks in just a wee second, but you said that last year, 2012, was a particularly good and exciting year for you. You're welcoming the release of your DVD, which I presume is going to be sold through the Sky Television.
Music Express are going to, they've kindly agreed they're going to sell it for me. It'll also be available through any, the venues where I'm performing live as well.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes. It's a first for me, Mark. It's something that I've never done before, so I'm kind of, dipping my toe in the water and see how it goes. But it's very exciting.
Now, where do you see Saul Christie going in 2013, 2014? Where would you like to see it going for Saul Christie?
I really just want to progress. I've had a kind of fantastic 12 to 18 months exploring new venues and meeting new people, be they fellow agents or acts or both or whatever else.
Yeah.
And I love to be on stage. People go and they record and they film and everything else. For me, it's all everything else that I do in the industry culminates in stepping on stage, and it's all kind of part of the process of getting yourself on stage in front of a live crowd, because you can have a good recording session, you can have a good session in front of cameras. For me personally, you'll never beat the feeling of having come off stage, having a good gig and a great reaction from a crowd. It's
a normal question for me to ask performers, but you have been singing now for about 10 years, as you said. Do you still get the buzz? Do you still get that buzz when you go on stage, or is the shine a bit off it?
I think it's a bit of kind of yes and no to that question. Yeah, you still get the buzz, and I think that's part of bettering yourself as a performer, and you may be able to relate to this as well. Is that you have regular venues and places where people like to see you play, but part of developing is continually finding new ways to keep that buzz fresh. Whether it's a new venue or an album or a new song or a new singing style, it's that you've kind of answered the question that you asked me there, which is what do I want to do next year, and I want to find ways to keep that buzz, as strong as it always is when you come off stage.
Mm-hmm. You're right, when you come off stage, and there are times where you come off and you go, oh, that was absolutely great, and you feel really, really good as you're packing away your gear, and then you're away transporting yourself home.
Sure.
And but there's other times where you come off and you think, oh, thank God that's over.
That happens too, but I think the way to offset that is, we all have nights like that, but we should never lose sight of it as performers, of the fact that we're paid to do what we love. One, we've got a job, which in this day and age is a blessing in itself, but two, our job is doing what we love to do the most, which is getting up and entertaining people. So that's my consolation if I ever come off stage feeling a little bit down and a little bit deflated, is, listen, Saul, get a grip of yourself. You've still just been paid for time on stage, doing what you love. Without
a doubt. And and that's the other side that people don't see or don't think about with performers, that it's an old cliche, and you've mentioned cliches, but it is an old cliche that the show must go on, and regardless of what's happening in your life, it could be, you could have had a really good day or you could have had a really terrible day, but you still have to go and do the job.
It's tough, yeah. We've all had, even myself at this kind of relatively early point in my career, I've had several nights where you really don't feel like getting up on stage. But you've just kind of got to grin and bear it, and you think, it's tribute to any performer that can do that. If you can step on stage not feeling like you want to step on stage, and it not come across, in your performance, I think that's when you're on the right track. When you can come off stage feeling like you've had a below average night and you're still getting feedback from your punters that suggests that it's gone really well, then I think that's when you're on the winner.
Whether it's 6 people or 6,000, it's the same show.
That's right.
That's the way to do it. Now we're going to play our next track, which was a Adobe Gray track.
Yeah, Adobe Gray did this song. This one really, the first time I heard this song, I only heard the chorus, and the lyric in the chorus stuck with me. Give me the beat wine through my soul. I want to get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Because that's what I used to do and still do when I listen to music. It's that encompassing thing about music can just take you and put you somewhere else. For a moment in time, irrespective, like you say, of whatever you've had going on in your life or whatever's happened that day. It's very, very easy for me to get lost in the track, and it just that lyric kind of encapsulates that feeling brilliantly, and that's why I started to listen to this song and I decided to record it.
Do you know, I just get the feeling that music is your life.
It could well be. Day after day, I'm more confused. Still I look for the light through the pouring rain. That's a game I hate to lose. I'm feeling the strain. Ain't it a shame? Oh, but give me the beat, boy, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away.
Give me the beat, boy, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Beginning to think I'm wasting time. I don't understand the things I do. The world outside looks so unkind, and I'm counting on you to carry me through. Oh, and give me the beat, boy, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the beat, boy, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. When my mind is free, you know the melody can move me. And when I'm feeling blue, the guitar's coming through to soothe me. Thanks for the joy that you've given me. I want you to know I believe in your songs. Rhythm and rhyme and the harmony is helping me on, keeping me strong. So give me the beat, boy, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the beat, boy, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the beat, boy, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the beat, boy, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. So give me the beat, boy, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Come on and give me the beat, boy, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the beat, boy, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the beat, boy, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll